Hey, Max here, and I got a hot topic to talk to you Star Wars fans about. But I want to give the disclaimer first. Warning! This video contains rumors, speculation, strong opinions, and me, Max. I'm not mad. I'm happy. It's a good day for me to be a Star Wars fan because there's a positive, constructive thing to do. And I'm going to give a big shout out to a great YouTube channel, and I'm going to give my thoughts on their campaign. It's a good, constructive thing to do, and we should do it. Great idea. Thanks for the video. So, I think you all know who I'm talking about by now, is World Class Bullshitters. The recent video, How to Save Star Wars, Contact Disney Directly. Great video. I'm going to link it in the cards in the description. And I was inspired to make another hot topic by their video. So, I thought that would be cool too, to make a hot topic on something that they were talking about in their video as an additional shout out to them. Because they do great videos. Interesting stuff. Honest opinions. I appreciate honest opinions. And I'm pretty sure all you guys viewers right now already know about them. But the link's in the description anyway. And the other part of this video that I've been wanting to talk about is Lucasfilm corporate culture. Let the past die. And the reason I got started with this and why it goes a little bit along with the World Class video is because of what really got me started. And the whole idea of the video is great, okay? But something that was interesting in there is the contact that helped World Class make the video was talking about Pablo Hidalgo and how they kind of just ignore the YouTube videos. So are they really listening to us? I don't think they are. And they kind of just group us in together as clickbait and ignore it. I think they're oblivious to how damaged Star Wars as a property is. So that's why the campaign is so even more important. Because I still think we should make these videos and talk about it. Maybe even just for group therapy. Because I like talking about it. I like to get it off my chest. I know you guys like to talk about Star Wars and what's going on. So even if they're not listening to us, we should still do it. But that's what makes the campaign even more important. So let's talk about it, though. And something that I actually, this is from an older Campia video that I first learned about this, is something corporate culture loves to do in big corporations with these properties. And it's called acceptable burn rate and how big corporations think. Okay, first, again, I want to say I love the approach to the video. It is a mighty big uphill battle, but world-class videos in the community, world-class community are a great way to climb it. But I thought it would be interesting to really examine what does Lucasfilm really think of all this. Do they get it? The short answer is, unfortunately, no. I don't think they get it at all. That's why the campaign is so important. My opinion is they believe their own hype, their own entertainment news media shows, and they don't see it coming. I think they know a little that Solo, a Star Wars story, is going to get lower numbers, but where I think they really don't know, and where they might get a shock, is if Star Wars Episode 9 with J.J. Abrams as director has a huge drop-off. I don't think they will actually get it until then. Or if the campaign works, which I really hope it does. Change.org petitions rarely do anything, but contacting them directly, that's a great approach, and maybe it will be enough to be picked up in entertainment news media. At least I hope it would. They are first to have an article on a small group on Facebook. What about a big group of fans acting in a constructive way to express their concerns? So hopefully they will pick this article up on what World Class is doing for the community, but who knows? They like to focus on the negative and attack fans. So I hope it doesn't go that way with this one, because it's a constructive way to handle this. Something very interesting in the video is that a source said they kind of group all YouTube videos as clickbait and ignore them, led by Pablo Hidalgo. And I believe this 100%. You think how underdeveloped episodes 7, 8, and 9 are? How shallow and superficial the characters are without depth? Do you think when they hear criticism, they're going to take it constructively, or just lump them all in the same group looking at the headlines or the title of something without giving a thorough examination? I think that's how they handle all criticisms. Oh, they believe everything. They believe all the news articles about the fandom. It's kind of obvious they aren't listening. So this is a great opportunity to have, and I think we all should take advantage of it. I also think we should rant on and keep the conversation going, just not when we talk with Lucasfilm. Keep that civil and appropriate, and don't attack the people you're talking to on the phones. Because if you keep it, you be respectful, we'll get a lot further. And I do still think we should make videos and talk about, though, keep the conversation going. To me, it is therapy. But when it comes to big corporations, you have to fight fire with fire and use the system. And don't give them ammo. Be respectful when talking with them. Don't give them a chance to say, we had to change the number, or that's the same face group. And believe me, we are not. But if you give them an opportunity to spin it, they will. So if it goes the wrong direction, they'll easily group us in with past, oh, it's that group again. We don't want that. Now I want to get into something else to the video that I also give some, my opinion, also gives some perspective about how these big movie companies work and the way they think and the way they ignore fans. I actually learned something from watching a Campia video. The one where he says Star Wars fans should move on from the original fans. Or Star Wars should move on from the original fans. Ugh. But Campia does have him some insight. Big surprise with corporate culture. But on to the topic. But this is actually interesting. You see, do you ever wonder why Hollywood is obsessed with reboots, sequels, and the SJW characters forced into all these reboots? Well, these big companies do the same thing. And this is also why the toy industry is also dying. Companies would much rather, and they often do, give people that are not fans the priority. They spend big bucks for focus groups, testing, and screenings of people that are not even fans of the property. And they even incorporate some of the things people in these groups suggest. And why do they do this? Because acceptable burn rate. Every big corporation is doing it. Money is most important, so you aggressively go towards a new market. In the case of Star Wars, in probably Episode 9, what we've gotten for 7, 8, and probably for JJ's Episode 9 based on his comments, Star Wars, they are going after a new market. Women, girls, and minorities. It's not because they care about these groups. It's because people in charge see dollar signs. We will double our money in untapped market. Money, money, money. That's what it's about. The other unfortunate thing about the corporate culture of these companies, they treat and think their customers are idiots. They put all the effort into new markets, and they think their idiot customers will still line up in day one. And you know what? They also think, oh, Star Wars, there's groups of people that stand in line for months. And this is where the burn rate comes in. You might lose a small group of fans that are not happy. But you know what? It's acceptable burn rate, so we can market to new customers and get more and more money. And those fanboy trolls that cannot accept change will go back and buy all of our old catalog of products. Win-win! Yay, corporate greed. And no customer service. The customer is always right doesn't exist anymore with the burn rate in corporate culture, or acceptable burn rate. Reboots and sequels boost the original product sales for nostalgia, and the new stuff is marketed to untapped customers. So, let the past die. To me, this is Lucasfilm corporate culture right now. It's not just a line Kylo says. I think this was the agenda so ingrained, it made its way into the film. And Ryan probably got bonus points with Kathleen Kennedy for incorporating Lucasfilm corporate culture into the Star Wars film. That's why you see Lucasfilm social media workers with giant red X's over Luke Skywalker. I'm starting to think this came from the top down, but they underestimated the fans, and Last Jedi burn rate is not acceptable, and it very well might hit them in the pocketbooks. And I don't think they are listening on YouTube. In my opinion, they will be blindsided with the big drop in box office for the next movies along with the merchandise. I plan on calling all the numbers on the list and being polite as possible because I want our voices to be heard, and I am tired of the fans getting a bad rap and being grouped together. This is serious, because if we don't get our voices heard, and history remembers the fans based on the headlines of entertainment news articles, we are in trouble. And you know what? And you know why? Disney has a big vault for money and for our childhood properties and great properties. They don't admit their own mistakes. If they fall without the public knowing how fans really feel, they will just say, oh, fans got burnt out on Star Wars. Maybe we will reboot it in 20 years and release it from the vault then. That's what could happen. And oh my, if they obtain Fox properties, some things we love may get vaulted where we don't see them again for our lifetime. Maybe our children, our children's children. The Disney vault is real. Disney greed is real. Disney vault is real. And Disney vault is scary the more this goes on and on. Okay, so the link, again, to the original video is in the description. And I highly recommend that vid and all their other vids, really. I really enjoy it. So, I appreciate you watching this episode. And this is where I want to remind you, you don't have to follow me anywhere. All I want from you is to join in the conversation. And bring the conversation to Disney and Lucasfilm. That's what I want from this one. Thanks for watching, guys.